Alright, I just wanted to, I don't know, it's giving me struggles. But I look a little tired. But I wanted to jump on because I do have to do, I don't have to do, excuse me, anything, but there's a prayer call, just a couple of minutes. So, but I wanted to get on and talk about being a single parent or being a parent. Whew, I had this discussion earlier today, and I was like, I want to make a video. Don't mind my desk behind me. It's uh it's organized chaos right now. uh, but anyway, being a single parent, I'm forgetting the things that I wanted to touch on. I'm so tired. I want to go to sleep. It's not bedtime yet. But being a single parent, and just the the rewards that come with it, and being criticized on how me personally, I'm criticized on how I raise my children, or how I look like, how I rear them, I would say. So I mean, I have 4 children, and I'm not gonna say it's easy. I'm not even gonna say it's hard. This isn't the hardest thing I have done. Compared to anything else, I would rather be a mom. And I like I don't call myself a single mother. I'm trying to get around this idea, because I'll say that and people will look at it like, well, what are you? And I'm not saying that just to say I'm a mother, but I don't see myself as a single mother, because a single individual is that's all it is. It's just that individual. And I have lots of help. I have aunts, I have friends, family, who chip in. I'll put it like that. They can't do everything. They're not here on the day to day in the raising and the disciplining and the they're not here with that. But during times of extreme stress, they're there. And so I would not say that I'm a single mom doing this all by myself. No, their father isn't helping me. Their father isn't even checking in on them. But I'm a single woman. That's different from being a single mother. Not a single mother. I don't even know. I don't even think I'm a single woman anymore. But that's to be defined. So, but anyway, but and then I have my own ideas of how I interact with my children, and how I'm trying to think of the right words, because I know that my words aren't politically correct. My definitions aren't politically correct. My opinions are definitely not politically, and sometimes scripturally correct, or biblically correct, however the churchgoers would put it. But I have some pretty good children. I'm proud of my children. I don't have children like the next person, and I definitely don't sit up and be like, I wish my children would do that. I used to say that because it was good in the conversation at the time, but I truly don't want that. I appreciate who my children are and how they are, even though sometimes I fly off the handle, and I really don't like this glossy lipstick, but it'll do. But I'll fly off the handle, and yell here and there, and but most of the time it's pretty easy going in our space, because it's basically, look, I give you a rule, but you also have options, and your options are make a choice to follow it or not to follow it. But either way, either decision you make, you have to deal with the the after effects of it. So I put that like that towards my children. And I used to get grilled a lot because some things that they've done or said or acted, I didn't punish them like another person thinks I should punish them, if that makes sense. I'm trying to be very careful with what I say, because I don't want to say something that's like, oh, because I don't just let my kids do anything, and they don't rule me, but I do give them a lot of freedom to be individual people. I want to help mold them into interdependent individuals, because the idea is not to grow up and, okay, I need a husband to take care of me, or I need a wife to cook for me, or, it's just, I need this for that. The idea is to be an equal partner, have equal exchange, and know who they are, know what they want, and know what they don't want. That's my goal. That's my goal for me. It took me 30-some years to know who I am, know what I want, and know what I don't want. So, when people take a peek in to my world and what's going on, they're like, why are you doing this? Why aren't you in a relationship? You should get with him. He's older and he's this and that's not the space that I'm in. That is not the space that I am in. I have been divorced. I have struggled with the after effects of divorce, and I have, come up out of that, and now I'm a healed individual who knows who I am. I know what I want and I know what I don't want. And right now, what is going on in my life, the things that I choose are what I want. The man that I'm involved with is who I want. The things that are associated with him are things that I have accepted. So for people to say, y'all should just do this, that's not where we are. We have conversations, and we have understanding. So to let somebody else tell me I should do, no, I'm not ready to jump back into that. I really don't even know if I'll ever be. My first priority is mommy, and I want to make sure my children are more than okay with their lives. So that's what I'm doing. And it's great to have somebody to walk along and, be able to work alongside you, male or female. I am not sexually or romantically into women, but I don't know who, the concept of soulmate. I don't know who and where that will come from for me. I feel like I have pretty good people in my life, more than pretty good people in my life. I feel like at least 2 individuals that I have connections with, if I needed anything, they would be there for me and my children. So that's what matters to me. He don't have to propose. We don't have to be besties, but we have a connection and we have an understanding. So I want my children to understand that, it's more in life than mommy. I need mommy to take care of this for me, or I need you need to be you, and you need to understand that it's okay to ask for assistance, but you're the only one that is responsible for you and what's going on around you. Now, those times where you can't control the things that are going on around you, you focus on within yourself. You focus on being able to make a choice, because you can always make a decision. Nobody makes a decision for you. But yeah, being a single, just to talk about being a parent. You know, every parent has their own idea on how children should be raised, or have their own idea on parenting. And me, I take it as it comes. I learn from everything every day, and I don't just settle on, oh, well, this is how I was raised. I started out that way. I really did. When I first started having children, it was like, this is what was done with me, and this is what I'm gonna do, because this is what I know. But one day, a couple of years ago, I just sat down and said, you know what, I'm gonna study parenting. I'm gonna study being a mom. I say parenting, but I'm a woman, and so I look at motherhood a little bit closer than just all out parenting. But I try to put the notion on parenting because, you know, some men are single parents. I mean, well, whatever. But that, yeah, that's the worldwide term. So single parents. But this has nothing to do with, I mean, being single. It's just being a parent and parenting children. I'm not a dictator. I do set the rules. Basically, I'm the leader right now. Um, and right now there's only one leader. No matter who comes in to help me, I'm the leader. So my children, if you need something, you want something, you need help, whatever, I'm your go-to. It's okay to go to other adults, but what they're learning is when they do that, it's still something they have to come to me for because something went wrong, or they didn't feel comfortable, or they felt like, you know, they didn't really care. Not saying that, because I'm pretty sure they can go to others, you know. It's, you know, their grandma, their grandpa, their great aunts. They can go, their uncle, aunts, they can go, they have other individuals to go to, but they're coming into the understanding of, okay, I need to go to my mom about this. And I welcome that every day. I take time out with each of them, especially with the older ones. Baby, you have anything you want to talk about? How are you feeling today? How did you feel when this happened? Or how, you know, I give them that time. But most importantly, I'm quiet and I'm listening to what they're saying. Um, and when I do approach them, that's my number one duty at that time, or my number one priority is to be quiet and just listen to what they're saying. And I'm seeing, I have to learn to see how that goes well with them. um I don't think that I give them, just, I don't give them too much. I believe I give my children, each one of them, at their level of maturity. Because, you know, okay, I have 4 children. Only one of my children has a cell phone, and it's because of her level of maturity and responsibility within this house. So I have a 10-year-old also who does not have a cell phone because her level of maturity is not quite ready to handle that. And I learned this because all of my kids had a cell phone at one time, some time ago. And I watched how they handled their phones, how much gratitude they had with being able to access that technology and having access to so much more. So for about 2 years now, only one has had a cell phone. Has it been 2 years? Hasn't been 2 years yet. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I think about 2 years. So anyway, you know, that's just that. And I gave her a game plan. At the time that something with my 10-year-old, something went down with her phone and her access to internet. So I talked to her. I did take it from her, and I talked to her, and I told her that, okay, in this time frame, you're not going to be able to have a cell phone any longer. I've given her a time, 2 years. So yeah, it's been 2 years, because this year was the year that she was supposed to get a cell phone, but something else happened, and I was like, you know what, you're not ready. So anyway, it's their level of maturity, it's their level of responsibility, it's how how much gratitude that I see within them, and you know, just being grateful for what they have, because just about anything my children ask me for, I will do and give them. But there's a but. I have to understand. I have to know. More importantly, I want them to understand why it is that they want what they want, especially when it's something extreme. What other parents or my older generation parents would be like, no, children at that age are not supposed to, you know, do this or have that. So because recently, one of my daughters asked me for something, and I just said, okay, my answer is yes, but there are conditions. You have to first tell me what it exactly specifically is you want, why you want it. Yeah, and why you want it. Those are the only conditions. So, but yeah, I just wanted to get on and talk for a little bit. I'm going to get off because my crew is coming back home, and I have a prayer call to jump on. So, that's that. Hope that was clear. I didn't want to talk too much because that is a topic on my talk radio show that I'm going to touch. Hi, baby. And but I wanted to, I'm going to discuss in detail, but I wanted to touch on it right now, just a little bit. While it was on my mind all day, I've been saying I want to talk about this. I want to put this. Excuse me. I want to make a video about parenting, and you know, some may call it the new age parenting, but I just looked at it. I look at it like this: what works for us is what works for us. I'll try, or I'm open to hearing advice, and I've definitely go back to how I was raised, and some of those things, you know, are still valid, but a lot of the things I'm trying to avoid having the feelings that I had as a child in this household. The things that I had to struggle to get rid of as an adolescent and adult. I'm trying to get them to kind of not go through that pit. Anyways, I'm sure there are going to be pits that my children are have to you know, climb up out of, but that's not one of them. So being able to deal with your emotions, being able to express your emotions, being able to be open, being able to express themselves for who they are, that's what I want them to do. I need them to be that. I don't want them to hide and sneak and lie because they like green and I'm telling them they should like the color purple. So I want them to say, Mom, look, I like green, and that's that. And I'm saying, okay, baby, that's okay. That's that. So yeah, I've been told that I put my kids on to too much information too soon, but at this point, no. Now my son is different. I'm thinking a little bit with him. I might have gone too deep, but again, I'm not a man, so, and you know, I've had little help from men, but not nothing too deep, because the relationship between me and the man, we weren't on that level. It was just he wanted to play daddy or something. I don't know, but he was. I mean, he was decent with my children. He was respectful. And he didn't come around like I'm y'all daddy and I'm y'all mama boyfriend, because it wasn't nothing like that. No boyfriends. But yeah, I wanted to talk about that. I think I'm late. So let me jump on this prayer call. Talk to y'all later.